Hello, my dear students. Today I am going to discuss about correlation. In my previous video, I had discussed something about one bivariate table in which I had given you under what conditions or what type of data set we should have in order to run a particular test. Now, if I take you through that table again, here is that it is we have here independent variable and here we have dependent variable. Fine. So when we talk about the correlation, which I am going to take up today, correlation and regression, hopefully I will take up in my next video. So today I will particularly discuss about this correlationship. So for correlationship, it is very imperative first of all to have a look at the type of data set which is available with you. You have to make it sure both dependent and independent variable here are metric variables. You cannot take any non-metric variable and metric variable then try to find out correlationship. No, you cannot do that. So for correlation we should have two metric variable. For example, you can take age and height, height and weight, both are like metric variable. You can give a number, quantitative variable they are. You can give them a number 10 years of age and what is the weight up, then 25 years of age and what is the weight at that age. So this is the first thing that you must keep in mind before you go for this correlationship, right? So let us go further. Now we are going to discuss about now this only, what correlationship is. Now we'll start it. Now we talk about the Pearson coefficient of correlationship. What this is, because this is the coefficient that we are going to use and we are going to measure the relationship between two variables, right? Now here when we talk about the coefficient of correlationship, what it measures the degree of linear association between two interval scaled variables, analysis of the relationship between two quantitative outcomes. That is what I was talking about. It is a relationship between two quantitative variables. For example, you have here height and weight. So both are interval scaled variables or both are quantitative variables where we can give a particular number to height and particular number to weight. Then when we talk about this correlation, what it means, means together and relationship means as it is, it's a relationship between two variables, right? Then statistical correlationship is a statistical technique, or this statistical correlationship, it is what? It is a statistical technique which tells us if two variables are related. As I gave you the example of height and weight, what we are going to find out whether there is any relationship between these two variables, like more the height, more the weight, lesser the height, lesser the weight, whether there is really any type of relationship between these two quantitative variables. That is what we are going to find out through this correlation, right? Now you take the example of here stress. Stress is dependent on the number of working hours. That is, more the number of working hours, more is the stress, less the number of working hours, less is the stress. That means stress is dependent on variable, or fine. So that is what is the correlationship here. So we are going to find out relationship between stress and working hours. Now assumptions are, there are some assumptions before we go for correlationship, before we go for this correlation technique. Now see here, there must be some assumptions that we must meet. We must first find out for a particular data set whether we are going to conduct correlationship or not. The first here assumption is the correlationship coefficient are assumed that the two variables measured from a bivariate normal distribution, they both the dependent variable, especially here we can talk about both dependent and independent, but mostly we talk about dependent variable. Let us take both dependent and independent variable. Both the variables should form a normal distribution population. So that means we have to go first of all for what? We have to go for normal distribution test before we go for correlationship. Then the second one is The correlation coefficient R measures only linearship association, that is how nearly the data falls on a straight line. It is not a good summary of the association if the scatter plot has a non-linear pattern. So what I am going to do, I am going to show you here the scatter plot also. Like what it says, the correlation coefficient R measures only linear association, that is how nearly the data falls on the straight line, which we are going to formulate through the scatter plot. That's what I will show you when I take the data set. Then the next assumption of this is the correlation coefficient R is not a good summary of association if the data have outliers. That means we have to check for outliers also in the data before we go for calculation of coefficient of correlationship, right? Then now see here, if we see the relationship between weight and height, if we draw one straight line from here, most of the dots are here on the straight line also, and if we see here, there are no many these outliers also in this. So we can find there is a positive correlation between height and weight, right? Now strength of relationship, how are we going to measure this in correlation? Here R lies between -1 and +1. Values near 0 means no linear correlation, and values near plus and -1 means very strong correlation. If it is +1, it is very strong. If it is -1, it is again very strong but negative. Now see here, we have strong negative here and we have strong positive here. Like -1 is strong negative and +1 is the strong positive relationship between the two variables, and if it is 0, that means there is no relationship between the two variables. Right now you see here, if you talk of this is a positive correlation. Here we have again positive, but the data is too much scattered here, that means it is weak positive correlation. Here it is again negative correlation. You can see here, we can say weak negative because you can see the data is too much scattered here, it is not too much on the line, and here there is no relationship, because R is 0. Fine. Now if we see the interpretation of value of R, here if R is 0.8, at least 0.8, we say there is a very strong correlation between the two variables. If it is from 0.6 up to 0.8, we say there is a moderately strong correlation. If it is 0.3 to 0.5, it is fair, and if it is less than 0.3, we say it is poor correlation between the two variables. Now we have coefficient of determination. What is this coefficient of determination here? Pearson's R can be squared, R square, to derive the coefficient of determination. Like when we get R value, to that R value, what is R value here? R value is the Pearson coefficient of correlation. Now if we square that R, we are going to get coefficient of determination, right? Coefficient of determination, the portion of variability in one of the variable that can be accounted by the variability in the second variable. It shows here this coefficient of determination, what it shows, if we are changing the independent variable, by changing that independent variable, how much change occurs in the dependent variable. For example, if we are changing the age from 5 years to 10 years, how much is the change in the weight? Right? Or if we are changing income from 5% to 10%, how much is the change in the savings? So this R says what? How the dependent variable responds to the change in the independent variable. I again repeat it. When we are changing independent variable, how much is the change reflected in the dependent variable is what is determined by this coefficient of determination, right? Thank you so much. Now I will take one data set and we are going to calculate R value. We are going to use Excel, then I will use SPSS, and if possible I will show you through Stata also. Now this is my data file, my dear friends. I have here temperature and ice cream here. Actually this should be, ice cream should be this side and temperature this side. Okay, no problem. So temperature and ice cream, that is it is the sale of ice creams. Okay, so sale of ice cream is dependent on temperature, right? So the first assumption that is there for the correlation is we have to check the normality of the dependent variable here, that is ice cream. We can take both, let us take only ice cream. What we are going to do, we are going to analyze, then we are going to descriptives, and then we are going to explore, right? Fine. So here what I am going to do, I am going to take this ice cream and drag it to this dependent list, and in statistics then I am going to find the outliers here, and then to plots I am going for normality plot with the test. Fine, is that clear? Let me repeat it again. I am going to analyze, then descriptive statistics, then I am going for explore. In explore I am going to drag my dependent variable which is ice cream to the dependent list. In statistics I am going to check the outliers, then continue, then I am going to plots. In plots I am going for normality with test, then I am going to continue, and okay, regenerate the syntax here. Now if you see here, we have 49 observations here, 49 data I have. There is any case of missing? No, there is no missing variable also. Now if you see, like mean is 135, then median is 110, then standard deviation is 47, the minimum value is 80, and the maximum is 230, range is 150, right? Everything it has given here in calculated form. Fine. Now if we go to this test of normality, if you see KS test, it is significant, that is the data is normal because the significant value is less than 0.05, and hence we say the data is significant, right? The significant, I mean to say the data is normal. Now if you see here the QQ plot here, now it is not making too much sense here because the data is not too much on the straight line. Now if we go to the this box plot here, if you see there are no outliers from this box plot. Can we see it here? There are no outliers. We have like a minimum value somewhere around 80, or to the upper value is somewhere around 240, something like that. Okay, so that means we can go further for correlationship. We have to, one more thing we have to find out here is the scatter plot. Let us see the scatter plot, and we can predict from that only what type of relationship is there between temperature and ice cream. Let us go for that also. Now the scatter plotter, I will do one thing, I will take you to Stata and will show you how we can draw that scatter plot there. Now see here, this is my Stata. I am going to graphics here, then graphics I am going to scatter plot matrix. In scatter plot matrix I have to take both these two variables, one is temperature and the other one is ice cream, right? Now I am going to submit it. Now you see here, you can see this type of relationship is there between these two variables. Now can you see this graph clearly? We can see we have here temperature and we have here ice cream. Somehow there is a positive correlation between both these two variables. It is not strong, but it is positive. So let us go by using SPSS, and we can find out the correlation between these two variables, that is temperature and ice cream. Now let us go to SPSS. Here I am going to analyze, then I am going to correlate, I am going to bivariate analysis, right? So here I am going to take these two variables into the variables, then options, we have here mean and standard deviation we can take, right? Pearson coefficient is already there. Now you can see here is the result of this. We have here a descriptive statistics, temperature mean is 38.53, and for ice cream the mean is 135.65, standard deviation is 4.6 and 47.65. there's too much deviation is there. Then we have N49 here. Now if we see this table, this is very important here. If we talk about Pearson correlationship here, between temperature and temperature it is 1, and between temperature and ice cream it is how much? 0.885. Alright, this is 0.885 here. Now there is one more way that we can use, because we want to find out the R square also. What we are going to do, we are going to analyze, we are going to regression, then we are going to linear. Alright, from this we can find out at least R value. Like let us say ice cream is dependent variable and it depends on the temperature. In statistics, what we are going to do, estimate confidence level, then model fit, R square, descriptive and partial. Let us take that also. Okay, fine. And then we are going to click on OK. Fine. Now if you see here, the result pops out. Now again here, if you see the coefficient correlation variable, here it is how much? It is again 0.885. Right. Now if we talk about this one, now this summary model is here. If we talk about this R square value, R square, no, not this one, R square value, it is 0.784. 0.784. That means there is 78% change in the dependent variable, that is change in the dependent variable, that is 78.4% of change in the dependent variable is explained by the change in the independent variable. Independent variable here is temperature and dependent is sales of ice cream, that is sales of ice cream. The change in that 78.4% change in the sales in ice cream is determined by the change in the independent variable, that is temperature. If we change 100%, if we change the independent variable, that is temperature, by 100%, there will be 78.4% change in sales of ice cream. Now if we see here, we have here this ANOVA regression like model. Here if we see the regression model is, it is significant here, that is it is the best fit for the model. So I am going to take this regression model in my next video. Till here I want to show you what correlationship is and how can we measure correlation. And here we have R value is how much? 0.885, and we have R square value 0.784. And the regression model, if we talk about, go further like one step, the regression model is the best fit because it is significant at 5% level of significance. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you understood what correlationship is and how can we check the assumptions before we go for correlationship. Thank you so much. In my next video, I am going to take up regression. Thank you so much.